Hi guys, like yourselves, I own a Freelander 2. You may own a Freelander 2 or even a Discovery with this similar Land Rover fob. Now this is really an adjunct to a video posted by Des G, and Des, you've saved my life because I think I was about to part with a £205 to the local Guy Salmon Land Rover dealer. I changed the batteries, which is already covered in videos on YouTube. Sorry, I've got a bit of reflection on that. So I've changed the battery, but what happened when I did it, same as Des has said, nothing worked. I then reheated this joint here, and I managed to get all of the buttons working bar the top one, which locks. And what I've discovered, when you actually look, I'm not altogether, not a criticism, Des, just an observation, the actual tract that feeds that button runs this way around the back. Now Des, he went round the bottom to feed up to it. Doesn't really matter how you do it, but I think in retrospect what's happening is when you desolder the battery connection at this point, what happens is you burn the actual solder track, which you can see very lightly runs from there to there. So if I was going to give anybody any advice, and it really is you know, genuine advice in terms of when you're doing it, make sure you've cleaned the hole thoroughly when you put the battery in, and when you solder, only apply the heat to the tip of the pin of the battery so the solder runs down and thus avoids any damage to the tract. Now it's a very thin board, and I think what's happening, and I was probably the same as you, Des, a bit overzealous with the solder, pressed on the board a bit with the soldering iron, and as a consequence probably burnt that track out. Now I did 2 of them because my spare had already run out of power many years ago, and I exactly the same thing. Battery went in, 4 switches worked, but the lock wouldn't. So it's this lock one that doesn't work. I watched your video, what a lifesaver, Des, thanks very much indeed. Ran this bit of phone cable, touched in the, if I turn this board, this is the lock pin, the locking pin. You need the bottom right hand corner and run a circuit back to the mains in. That's all you need to do. Now I know Des did a back feed down here to the boot. I didn't need to do that. It was purely, I think it's what's happening is when you're soldering, press on that too hard and you risk damaging the very fine track that runs up to this position. So just be aware, anybody doing the job, it is pretty easy, but it is obviously very easy to mess it up. So try and just touch the heat on the top of the pin and let the solder run down. But failing that, get yourself a bit of foam wire, yeah, which is, you know, foam flex is all I've used. Stripped it back and ran it in there, and bingo, it works. And I'm just about to do the other one here. You can see where that tract is. It runs just past the chip and up into that corner, and I think the damage is done here with the heat. I think it's burning the board through. So it is a very delicate operation, but at the end of the day, to get 2 of these back in your hands from the main dealer, you'd be £410 late, and that is prices as of May 2018. It's an absolute scandal, to be honest, for Land Rover, and really it's high time somebody developed this board with a removable battery in it, which would work. To be honest with you, why on earth it was ever made like this, I don't know, other than making money, which certainly they are from the prices they're charging. Love the car, just don't love the fob. Hope this helps. Thanks very much, Des, again, you're a lifesaver. Thank you.